ready to take off against the Rochester Yellow Jackets for an evening matchup as the Bombers are coming off Liberty League play last weekend with matches against Vassar and Bard. They're looking to improve to 6-2, while on the other side, it's Rochester who are looking to find themselves in the win column. I'm Devin Jarvis, joined alongside Matt Giavoni for the pregame show here in Ben Light Gymnasium on WICB Network 91.7. Excited to get this going, Matt. These two teams faced off last time 1 year ago tomorrow to be exact. And that match did not go well, you could say, for the Bombers. A final score of 88-66 in favor of the Yellow Jackets, and overall just dominating from Rochester. But you look at this season, and you got to expect different results. So far for the Bombers have had a solid season. Opened up match against their rival in Cortland. Had that quarter matchup, and of course we know how that ended. Cameron Coffey's right-wing buzzer beater making it onto the SC Top 10 list to finish in style. Then they had their first home opening matchup against number 7 in the nation, Trinity, where they had the lead going into the fourth quarter, however cannot close it out, lose that one 61-50. Went on a couple road games now, 5-game road strip, and since then has found 1 loss, 3 wins, and that only loss coming against, Emmanuel College. And generally, the Bombers looking at a very solid squad right now, 4th in the Liberty League, sitting right behind Vassar, Skidmore, and RIT. You go to the other side, look at the Yellow Jackets. Started off with 2 home games as they hosted the Chuck Rensler tournament. First game was against Allegheny College, where they found a win, but lost the second one 66-61. And you'll find this win-loss pattern develop as you see their schedule go along. Found themselves in another tournament against at Nazareth when they hosted the Mark's Pizzeria crosstown shootout. Came out 1-1 in that one. Then faced off against William Smith and SUNY Brockport, 1-1 on the season. They haven't lost more than 1 game in a row, haven't won more than 1 game in a row. So they're looking to make a change tonight. They're coming off a loss and trying to get back in the win column, you could say. Sits 7th in the UAA right now. And Matt, looking at this team, how about you help me break it down? Star players, season so far, and what to expect.
Well, absolutely. First of all, you have to look at that pattern, and Ithaca's going to want to break it. If we're going based off of the pattern so far for Rochester, they're due for a win tonight. However, on paper, Ithaca does look like the better team so far this season. 5-2 record, obviously great. They're going to want to win an important Liberty League matchup. Again, any divisional matchup is more important than just a regular game, so it's going to add that extra weight, the extra rivalry, the fact that they lost in such a blowout fashion last season. They're going to want to get a little bit of revenge here tonight, and it's looking like they have the pieces to do it. June Dixon has been great. Cameron Coffey, you mentioned that SportsCenter Top 10 moment that we got to see right off the bat at the beginning of this season. We knew as soon as we saw that she was going to be a star player for this Ithaca squad, and it's looking like a very well-balanced team. They can shoot from beyond the arc. They can shoot in close. They can crash the board if they need to. There's not, on paper, a ton of weaknesses that you could point out for this Ithaca team, and I think Rochester's going to have their hands full trying to defend really everywhere on the court where Ithaca can shoot from.
Certainly, and you go over those star players so far. D1 transfer out of Cal Poly, June Dixon leading the team in points right now with 13 on the dot. Cameron Coffey in second, 12.7. Annabella Yorio, 9.1, and she's also leading the team in rebounds with just over 6. And then you look at it from range. Cameron Coffey, an astounding 44.1% from beyond the arc, which lines up, because she has that 3-ball in her. She can do it under the lights, under the pressure, and she's been phenomenal from deep so far this year. But a question mark that is a storyline arising at the moment is the, Zoraida Icabelceta, who hasn't been shown tonight. She missed practice just last week. Not sure if she's going to be in the game, and as of right now, she won't be playing. Kind of that not on the stat sheet difference maker for the Bombers so far this year. Seen that point guard position making a lot of effort really when they need it, and a lot of the success has come flowing throughout Zoraida Icabelceta. So that'll be a big loss tonight if they can't come out with her. And then you go to the other side for the star players on the Rochester side of things, and it really comes down to one person, right, Matt? Abby Gress. She has been phenomenal this year, 15.7 points on the year, and also leading the team in rebounding, 9.8, almost a double-double per game, which is not something you see often in women's college basketball, putting up that many rebounds. So she's got that taller aspect to it, can play down low. She can play down low, Matt, but she can also play beyond the arc. She's leading this team with a 43% field goal or 3-point percentage from beyond the arc. You don't see that very often, do you?
No, absolutely. That's a very impressive number right there, and they're going to need to rely on her to keep that number up, because if you look at the rest of this team and how they do from beyond the arc, you're not getting a lot of production from your other players. It's been all Abby Gress from the three-point range. Not really anybody else on Rochester has had too much impact from that range, so definitely they're going to look for her to continue that dominance.
Certainly, second place in field goal percentage comes in at 25%, a large difference from what Abby Gress is putting up. You look at the other point scorers on this team, Callie McCauley and Claire Gronewood, who are second and third on the team with 12.5 and 10.5 respectively. What do you expect from this roster tonight? You know, they've struggled so far, their losses coming at decent margins, and this Bombers team has had a really good start to the season. They were 5-1 going into their matchup last year, ended up 5-2 after they played, and it was the last matchup of 2022. This one, kind of a similar storyline, Bombers 5-2. You think a different outcome?
Yeah, well, I can tell you what, Rochester, their big three, as I'm going to coin them right now, average about 39 points a game, which is very impressive, and that kind of outlines the strategy for both teams here. Rochester wants to get them going, maybe get a little bit above those average numbers. Ithaca needs to shut them down. That's what they need to do defensively. If they could do that, the accuracy from everywhere on the court hasn't been there for some of the players that haven't taken as many shots.
Certainly, and checking out the history between these two teams, standings currently between them, series at 13-17 in favor of the Yellow Jackets, but right now the Bombers on a 2-game loss streak. They won the 2 before that, so 4-4, they're 2-3 in their last 5, but you go back to last year when they played December 7th, 2022. The Bombers lost that one 83-66, in dominating fashion like we mentioned earlier. Point scorers on that team, Bombers saw Cameron Coffey score 7, Annabella Ioria with 6, and Hannah Polchi with 2, and it was really last year when they had that dominating senior class, the only one coming back was Cameron Coffey, and on the other side, Callie McCauley had 15, Haley Dumiak had 2, she's fourth on the team in scoring this year. Generally, the Bombers not seeing a lot of familiar faces from who they faced last year on the court or who they're playing against. So it's kind of going to be a new look between these two teams, and interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, absolutely, and the biggest name that you've got added in there, June Dixon, again, we talked about it, the D1 transfer from Cal Polytech, She's going to be the X factor, and I think the difference maker, not only throughout the season so far, but especially for this game and this rivalry where typically the Yellow Jackets have had the advantage in the past.
Matt, tip-off in just a few minutes here in Ben Light Gymnasium. We're going to send it over to a break for just a moment as Cam Manna and Kyle DeSantis will take things over for the call of the game. We'll be back here at halftime and post-game to give you some more analysis, but until then, please keep listening to WICB 91.7 Ithaca. I'm Devin Jarvis, joined alongside Matt Giavoni, saying so long until halftime. We'll see you in just a moment.
As snow falls in the south hill for the first time this year, we say hello. As snow falls in the South Hill for the first time this year, we say hello from inside Ben Light Gymnasium, the site for tonight's out-of-conference women's basketball showdown between the Ithaca College Bombers and the Rochester University Yellow Jackets. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us here on 92 WICB and the Bomber Radio Network alongside the Governor, Kyle DeSantis. I'm Cam Manna. We were your eyes and ears for Bomber football all season. We'll be your eyes and ears tonight for the 31st all-time meeting between the Yellow Jackets and the Bombers for Ithaca. They're coming off the Liberty League opening weekend, splitting their two contests. And Kyle, they're looking to get back on track here tonight from Ben Light.
Looking to get back on track. Yes, they did get a win their last time out at Bard College, but especially with how the rest of the schedule can wrap up for the Bombers, it's not really a stepping stone in a sense as some of these other past games have been, especially with a Rochester team that they've lost two straight to these last two seasons. Would be a big game for them to get back in the win column.
The Bombers 5-2 at the moment, 1-1 in conference after the split against Vassar and Bard. Rochester yet to play a conference game, 3-3. And this Rochester team coming off a tough loss against SUNY Brockport. The Bombers on a win, but early on in the season in December, only a few more games left, Kyle, until that large break until conference play.
Very large break again until conference play. This game and then Saturday, the final game in 2023 before the Bombers go back for the break until January when the season picks up.
Well, both teams line up to honor America. We'll step away here on the Bomber Radio Net and join us next for tip-off.
Good evening. For tonight's non-conference women's basketball game, featuring the University of Rochester Yellow Jackets.
For the future, Abby, don't know if you could hear us. I don't think we could have. Did you count us down when we went in? It kind of got lost.
I heard it.
Oh, okay. That's on us. Our ears don't work. Rockets, red glare.
Rockets.
Yep.
The 31st all-time meeting between the Bombers and the Yellow Jackets comes your way here tonight from the South Hill inside Ben Light Gymnasium. Alongside Kyle DeSantis, I'm Cam Manna with you. We'll be your eyes and ears from up top for this battle between two teams, Kyle, we mentioned, trying to get back on track right now and find their way early on in the month of December.
Find their way, especially for a team where, again, a lot of their senior front and their senior leadership graduated out. Still a team, again, trying to find their identity. A lot of players have had to elevate themselves in their roles in this team to fill those voids.
Rochester comes out here with their starting five. We'll start with the backcourt and the three guards. The freshman Riley Drehos, Abby Gress, the senior, and the sophomore Claire Grunewoud will be the three guards. And in the front court, Haley Dumiak and Callie McCauley coming back for her fifth season in a Yellow Jackets uniform. And now the Bombers get set on the left side of the court, coming out for their starting lineups. And it's a new one here tonight. In the backcourt, the three guards, Junie Dixon, the grad senior out of Cal Poly, Hannah Polche, the senior, and the other grad senior in Cameron Coffey. The two forwards, Anya Watkins and Annabella Yorio, the two juniors that have done a fantastic job. But Kyle, Anya Watkins usually coming off the bench. Zrina Iqbal-Seta usually at the guard position. She's not here tonight.
Not here tonight for Anya Watkins. It's been a long time coming. Has been with the team since the 2021-22 season. 43 games in a Bomber uniform. Game number 44 is her first start.
And on the Bomber side this season, finding their new way was the talk, but finding that new star. Junie Dixon, 13.8 points per game right now. Kyle, she's shooting 45% from downtown at the moment. She's been the engine for this offense. We'll have to take a larger role tonight without Zrina.
An engine for the offense, had 20 points in the season opener at Cortland, has scored in double-digit points, especially in 5 of the 7 games. Might have to be one of those nights again for her to continue that season and work against this Rochester team.
Both teams come out from their benches. Rochester on the right side, the Bombers on the left. And Rochester comes in with their gray road uniforms with the gray jerseys and the gray shorts with the dandelion yellow and Rochester blue numbering and letters. And on the Bombers side, they're in their home whites with the white shorts, the white jerseys, and the blue lettering and numbers with the blue striping on both sides. Rochester from right to left, Bombers from left to right. Both teams set at midcourt. McCauley for Rochester on the tip. She's at 6 foot. Annabelle Yorio at 6 foot even here to get us started on the South Hill. Snowfall in the month of December and basketball gearing up here from Benlight. The tip is up. We're underway. Rochester wins it from right to left. They'll take it with Dumiak on the right wing, and they reset with their point guard, Riley Drejos. Drejos on the right side to Dumiak. Down low, ball tip. Junie Dixon takes it. Bombers from left to right in transition. A 2-on-2. Dixon drives right side, the floater off the glass, no good. Tipped around down low, and the Yellow Jackets take it for their second possession. Here's Gress, cross-court pass to the far side in Grunewald. Grunewald comes here to McCauley. McCauley drives to the left side. She's blocked, but a foul call by the near side referee by the Bombers bench. And McCauley, the grad senior out of Leroy, New York, will get 2 shots.
Looks like it was on Annabelle Iorio, her first foul. It was her and Watkins both down low on the block with the hands up, but contact was made and the foul was called.
For McCauley, shooting 50% from the line. 2 dribbles. First free throw rolls in and out. Season high 20 points this season, coming off her toughest shooting game. 0 for 5 with 1 point at the line against Brockport. Second free throw, line drive shot, nothing but net. And Rochester opens the scoreboard first. Just 30 seconds in, they're up 1-0. Anna Polche over midcourt. She's pressed here right on the near side on the right wing by Drejos. Now dribbles right hand to that right wing. Dixon takes it on right wing extended. Annabelle Yorio, right block, down low, left block. Watkins lays it up and in. Those are the 2 forwards that are magnificent for the Bombers, the 2 juniors, Yorio and Watkins.
Quick pass, then the layup off the left glass and in. Good bucket there.
Drejos in the right wing. Top of the key handoff to Gress. Gress with 15 points per game, the leading scorer. Drejos in the left wing, back to Gress. Cross-court pass, Dixon tips it out of bounds, stays with Rochester with 13 seconds on the shot clock. What Junie Dixon does on defense, 9 steals this season, moves so well at the top of the key. Inbounded on the far side by the Bomber fans from Gress, gets it in top of the key, Drejos. Drejos guarded by Yorio, right-handed dribble, calls it a play with 3 fingers on her left hand. Dribbles left side, bounce pass down low, 3 in the shot clock, now 2. Top of the key, shot clock winding down. It will not be off in time, shot clock violation. Abby Gress had the ball, she'll get the turnover, and the Bombers take it with 8:45 left in the first.
Bombers doing such a great job again, working with the passing lanes and stopping the Rochester offense. Also, we've seen Hannah Polche be the point guard with the absence of Ichabal Seta.
Polche, the senior, right wing, Junie Dixon on the near side. Dixon, overhead pass, right elbow, Watkins. Left wing, Polche with the left jab step. Gets a screen from Watkins, now top of the key, left wing Coffey. 3-point shot, it's an air ball, rolls out of bounds, saved from Rochester. But looks like Rochester stepped out of bounds. Callie McCauley looking for the hustle play. Her right foot hitting that boundary line. The Bombers take it under the hoop with 10 on the shot clock.
With how Coffey's been shooting, you'd think she'd make that shot. Probably a step out too far.
Dixon takes it in, right wing Coffey. Top of the key, Yorio. Yorio, the junior. Fake pass, dribbles left side, now with 3 seconds with 2. Polche, top of the key, drives right side. She'll have to throw it up with the shot clock winding down. Shot's no good off the backboard, and back-to-back shot clock violations for both sides.
It's been great defense on both sides that have really forced that shot clock violations. In the case for the Bombers, just trying to drive around for the layup. Rochester was an open pass, the mid-range line.
Just under 2 minutes in, Rochester with it from right to left. A drive to the left side from Grunewald. Shot's no good. Tip from Dixon. It will stay with the Yellow Jackets under the hoop on the left side. Grunewald for this team, a sophomore. 10.5 points per game, shooting 36% from the field. Drejos on the right side of the basket, inbounds it in. She'll get it right back on the handoff. Drives towards the right elbow. Top of the key. 3-point shot here for Gress. Back iron no good. Watkins with the rebound. Hands off to Yorio. Bombers in transition with 7:50 left to go. Polche down low, Yorio tipped up 2 defenders. And it will stay here with the Bombers on the left side of the hoop. That's what the Bombers love to do too, Kyle. Move in transition very efficiently.
Move in transition, like the idea for the pass. Maybe if you go for the bounce, get under the hands of both the defenders, get a layup right there.
Dixon slaps the ball with her left hand on the left side of the hoop. Goes top of the key, Yorio. 15-foot jumper. Rolls off to the left side. Rochester now takes it, moving from right to left. Drejos quickly. Yorio intercepted. Few turnovers so far. Bombers in transition. Left side. Oh, another steal. It's Gress now from right to left. Rochester a 3-on-2. Gress on the right elbow. Spins back to her left side. Ball rolls out of bounds. Bombers take it. And Kyle, both sides here just want to slow down.
Both sides trying to go for the big plays in transition. Both sides on defense being able to get into the passing lane in that case as well. Ball went out of the hands, trickled out of bounds.
3 points so far, 2 for the Bombers, 1 for Rochester with 7:27 left to go in the first. Polche on the near right side wing, top of the key Watkins. Watkins, a left jab step, left wing Coffee. Bounce pass down low, Yorio almost poked away. Yorio resets. Fakes the handoff to Coffee, 10 on the shot clock. Junie Dixon top of the key. The Calipoli transfer. Jab step, 13-foot jumper from the right elbow, no good. Rolls out towards the left side, and Rochester keeps it in play. Here's Drejos in transition for the Yellow Jackets. Drejos top of the key, grad senior McCauley. McCauley the right-handed dribble, far side right wing Gress. Gress down low, Drumiak. Now top of the key, McCauley. McCauley drives left side on Coffee, picks up her dribble, Coffee pokes it away. Rochester resets, near left wing 3, Grunewald, no good. Coffee the rebound, Junie Dixon with the basketball, Bombers over midcourt. Dixon to Yorio on the left wing, now left wing extended Coffee. Coffee can shoot it from 3 at 45%. Watkins down low, left block, up no good. And another miss so far. These teams shooting under 15% to begin. Here's Drejos driving quickly coast to coast. Left side blocked from Polche. Polche did not let Drejos get the ball past her right hip. Rochester inbounds with 6:20 left to go in the first.
Polche continuing the defense, being able to put the hand down just as it was Drejos trying to put it up. Also, some substitutions for the Yellow Jackets.
The Yellow Jackets substitute. It's Hannah Lindemuth into the game. As Rochester inbounds here from Drejos, tipped out of bounds from Yorio. They'll keep it right by the Bomber bench. As Avery McPeak will come into the game for the Bombers, Annabella Yorio checks out. So the 6-foot forward and Yorio comes out. McPeak comes in as a guard forward at 5'10".
Also, Trinity Johnson checked in for Rochester, forward at 6'2".
Here's Gress inbounding it on the near side left corner. Goes Drejos on the left wing, 20 on the shot clock. Drejos guarded by McPeak. Drejos now on the right side, going east to west. Hands off to Lindemuth. Lindemuth right-handed dribble on that right wing. Down low, posting on McCauley on McPeak. Fadeaway jumper, rattles in and out. Watkins the rebound. And a Polche on the near right side by the scores table over midcourt. Polche down low, McPeak. McPeak in the right corner. Big jab step, ball tipped away off McPeak, off McCauley. Sticks with the Bombers, but neither side so far getting their way on offense. 2-1. Bombers in front, 5:55 in this first quarter.
Not the best ball security by McPeak. Was trying to fake the pass. Ball was too far out of her body. Was able to get tipped away.
Polche, left corner, here on the near side, Coffee. Coffee jab steps, left-handed dribble. She calls for a reset. Straight away is Polche. Polche drives right, spins back to her left side on the left elbow. Left wing Coffee. 10 on the shot clock. Coffee spins back to her left side. Fadeaway jumper. Bank is not open. Watkins the rebound. Ithaca up top, but Watkins threw it away past Polche. Third turnover against the Bombers to begin. It's been a sloppy offensive showing so far between both sides.
Sloppy showing. The pass there had 2 Bombers in the vicinity in Polche and Coffee. Went right through. Now Polche checks out for Jillian Payne, who comes in.
Jillian Payne coming off a solid game against Bard. Had 5 points and 3 assists. Here's Rochester. It's Gomez who just checked in. Goes on the right side, hand off to Johnson. Johnson back to Gomez at the top of the key. Gomez gets a left screen. Now dribbles to that left side. Back to the top of the key. McCauley who set the screen. Now Johnson on that right wing. Hands off over to Gress. Gress now on that right wing extended. Now top of the key. Spins back right side. Right-handed layup. Back iron no good. Coffee the rebound. Tips it back to Gomez for Rochester. And a jump ball called down low. Possession arrow now to the Bombers. And Jillian Payne making an impact a few seconds in.
Making the impact already. And really the Bomber defense, they've been very heavy on the switches. It's been a key for them so far in this game. Annabella Yorio as well checking in for Anya Watkins on the court.
That was Watkins' first start. As we mentioned, Zrydek Balsetta not here, but Yorio back in the game. 5:05 left to go in the first. Bombers still in front 2-1. They're shooting 1 for 6 so far. Junie Dixon at the top of the key, loses control. Ball at midcourt at the Ithaca logo. Dixon corrals, now right elbow. Pulls up a jumper, nothing but net for Junie Dixon. So the Bombers getting some points on the board, involved with their number 1 scorer. Here's Gomez from right to left for the Yellow Jackets, trailing by 3. Gomez on the right wing, top of the key, McCauley. McCulley jab steps. Now on the near side left wing, Lunamouth. Lunamouth, three-point shot. Off the mark, no good. Rebounded down low. Rochester corrals and McCulley. McCulley now towards that right corner. She's double-teamed. Backdoor pass. Gomez, the high arcing floater. It's an air ball. One more chance, and an and one. Trinity Johnson, the two-handed rebound, threw it up with her right hand. She'll get one more chance at the stripe. Looking to tie it.
Another time that the Yellow Jackets gone up for a layup opportunity. Two Bombers jump up trying to defend. One gets called for the foul. I believe that was Jillian Payne who got credited for that one.
Elizabeth Maka into the game, too. The Bombers freshman had 10 points versus Bard in the blowout win, 2 steals and 1 block. Johnson, 2 dribbles at the line, shooting 32% from that spot. Puts one through, ties it up at 4 with 4:20 left to go in the first. Dixon over midcourt on the left wing, hands off to Coffey. Coffey's been quiet so far, only 1 shot taken. Down low, Maka, left-handed layup, rattles in and out, no good. And she was wide open. Yorio, though, the rebound. Right hook shot, no good. Maka one more time. You missed the first shot, you get one more chance. She converts, Bombers in front by 2. Here's Rochester once again on the offensive side. Lindemuth on the near side, left wing. Behind the back dribble, drives left side with the finger roll. She's blocked. That was Maka once again. Here's Jillian Payne, the Bombers from left to right. Payne on the right wing, hands off to Dixon with 2 points so far. Maka to Coffey on the left wing extended. 20 on the shot clock, top of the key, Yorio. Junie Dixon in that same spot. Left screen, Yorio. Dixon drives left side, steps back to Yorio on the right wing. Yorio, 13-foot jumper, front arrow good. Coffey the rebound, the finger roll with the right hand. Bombers back-to-back chances on the offensive side, getting second chance points.
Both those times on the blocks, second chances off the backboard.
8-4 Bombers, 3:20 left to go. Here's Rochester. Top of the key, it's Gress. Gress, a lot of minutes so far, no shots taken. Right wing Gomez on the far side. Gomez now top of the key, picks up her dribble, guarded by Maka. Down low, Gress, left hand. She puts it in. What a pass from Gomez, finding Gress, cut past the paint. Now the Bombers quickly. Dixon full court pass. Coffey corralled in the paint with 2 hands. And another right-handed shot from Coffey. Bombers in front once again by 4, 10-6. 2:50 left to go in the first. Gomez past the Ithaca logo. Comes towards the left wing in Lindemuth. Lindemuth hesitates with the right hand, back to her left hand. Drives left side, 10-foot jumper. It's too long. Coffey the rebound, and Dixon slows it for the Bombers. Dixon, left wing Payne, back to Dixon. Top of the key, wide open for 3. It's no good. Gress with the rebound for Rochester, and head coach in his 25th season, Jim Scheibel, told him to push it. Gress at the top of the key. Right wing Lindemuth. Lindemuth hesitates. She's straight away. Now Gomez on the right wing far side. Guarded by Maka. Gomez dribbles to her right. Spins back to her left with the pivot foot. Now Lindemuth top of the key. 10 on the shot clock. Lindemuth down low Gress. Gress from 8 feet out. Nothing but net. Great pass in the pick and rolls. That's what Rochester loves to do.
Working off the screen, something that this Yellow Jackets program really relies upon. That's how they got those 2 points.
Here's Coffey on the right wing. Now Dixon on the left side, back to Coffey, the give and go. Coffey, 3 straight possessions with the easy layups down low. Dixon with the assist. Bombers in front, 12-8. Minute 45 left to go in the first. Here's Raquel Williams, who just checked in on the top of the key. Right wing 3, Gress is wide open. Puts it in. Abby Gress from 3, shooting 42% from that spot. Rochester down by 1. Minute 20 now. Dixon with it for the Bombers. Right wing Payne. Payne jab steps, has not used her dribble yet. Over the head pass, top of the key, Yorio. Yorio fakes a pass, dribbles left hand back to her right. Drives right side with the contact, lays it up and in off the glass. Ithaca in front, 14-11. Now the offense is getting their groove. Here's Gomez, guarded by Dixon, as Rochester on the attack. Far right wing Johnson, back to the top of the key, Gomez. Lindemuth on the left side, guarded by Payne. Now on the left block, top of the key, Gomez. Gomez with 14 on the shot clock. Left elbow jumper, it's no good. She was blocked, Payne takes the rebound. Seconds left in the first at 50. Payne, down low, Yorio on the pass. Yorio saves it back towards the top of the key and rolls all the way towards the Ithaca logo. Jillian Payne saves it, hands off to Junie Dixon. 40 seconds remaining, 15 on the shot clock. Dixon guarded by Gomez. Yorio looking for a screen. Dixon goes to the left side by Yorio. Dixon now towards the right side, driving, dominant hand, off the glass and in. Junie Dixon with 6 points. Using the glass, no shot clock, 24 seconds left in the first. 16-11 Ithaca. Here's Williams. Left side, hands off to Gress. Top of the key, Lindemuth for three. It's no good with 13 seconds. Bombers will hold for one shot. Yorio over midcourt on the far left side. Top of the key, Dixon with 6. Dixon through the legs. A screen from Coffey on the right side. Dixon with 3, now with 2. Step back 3, bingo! Junie Dixon, the buzzer beater to end the first. And the Bombers, they lead 19-11. Junie Dixon, what a start for the Rochester.
Dribble with the right, behind the back to the left, behind the arc. Money. An amazing shot to wrap up a first quarter that needed its time to really ramp into gear. But both teams, again, were able to show near that second half and later on into the first quarter that they could still score at will.
Junie Dixon finding her way, and you mentioned it, Kyle, a slow start for both teams, not being able to get it going on the offensive side, but what Junie Dixon brought for the table, 3 for 6 shooting, she's got 7. She's the leading scorer on the Bombers side, and for Rochester so far, it's been Gress with 7, 1 for 2 from 3. It seems like both sides so far using the three-point shots to their advantage.
Trying to do it, and for Rochester as well, they're not as much of a three-point shooting team. They're last in their conference when it comes to that, around that 23% margin. Bombers around the middle of the Liberty League as well, just under 34%. At least for the Bombers with that Dixon 3, that was the only one they made, but it came at a big time.
The Bombers so far, 33.3% from 3. Rochester at 20%. But Ithaca shooting 47% from the floor to finish. They were 1 for 6 to start, Kyle, and it seems like the change now, more of those off-ball screens controlling the basketball.
Again, with also continuing to go for those heavy switches when Rochester's trying to implement their game plan. That could add to a 7-0 run. The Bombers ended the quarter on.
Quarter number 2 getting set to be underway. Bombers in front 19-11. And we thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday night on the Bomber Radio Net in 92 WICB. Alongside Kyle DeSantis, I'm Cam Manna. Raquel Williams will inbound for Rochester at the Ithaca logo at midcourt. New 10 minutes on the clock in quarter 2 underway. Drejos with it, right-handed dribble at the top of the key. Drejos with no points so far, looks for a backdoor cut, smothered by Yorio. Drejos, handoff towards that right wing to Jenks. Jenks, top of the key. Grunewald with the jab step, drives towards the left elbow, backdoor cut. Polche sniffed it out. Bombers in transition with some numbers. Polche over midcourt on the right side. Right wing Tori Drevna, who has her first action as the freshman. Dubin top of the key. Left wing Polche. Polche on the far side with 15 on the shot clock. Top of the key Yorio. Yorio the forward, spins to her left. Now at that left elbow. Goes to Polche on the near side, right wing with 10. Polche resets. A screen from Yorio. Polche picks up the dribble, got a pass. Now to Watkins. Right elbow. Drives to the right side with the contact. Pump fakes. Throws it up off the glass. No good. Polche bats the rebound. We'll see the call down low. Not sure if the shot from Watkins got any rim. Looks like 20 seconds on the shot clock. Bombers may take it. Tipped out of bounds from Rochester, so Drevna will inbound.
There was that fight for the ball, especially after the fact, so referees gave the possession to the Bombers, who now have the ball.
Yorio on that left wing, far side. Just a minute into the second. A pass to her left side, and Grunewald on the Rochester side tips it out of bounds. Bombers now reset. Drevna by the Rochester fan section. Slaps the basketball, handoff to Yorio by the Ithaca logo, top of the key. Right wing Watkins. Watkins, right corner Dubin. Hand in her face for 3. Nothing but net for Dubin. Grayson Dubin checking in for her first action. 40% from 3. Bombers in front, 22-11. Here's McCulley at the top of the key. Left wing Jenks, guarded by Dubin. Jenks towards the left elbow, tipped from Dubin. And Rochester inbounds under the hoop, but hey, the three-point shots have been going for the Bombers.
Three-point shots have been going for IC. Their second make also. 4 steals on the defensive side.
The freshman guard in Drejos looking to get it in. She just gets it in before the 5-second violation. Now she's in the left corner, gets the basketball back. Polche tips it out of bounds. And Polche walks away with some swagger, has a block and 2 steals to begin. 14 on the shot clock, 8:40 left in the second. Rochester inbounds one more time. Drejos gets it in on the near side left wing to McCulley. McCulley drives right side, throws it up, blocked from Dubin, and McCulley touched it last under the cup. Bombers now take it, the smothering defense down low.
Looks like as well that Rochester calls the timeout. Jim Scheibel wants to talk things over with his team, but especially after that, it was blocked, and you had McCulley trying to go for it underneath, right near the end line. Wasn't able to corral it. and went out of bounds.
So many different shooters on the Bombers side that have gotten it done from three, shooting 33.8%, but so far in this one, finding their way, and even without Junie Dixon to begin in the lineup, that shows a lot of promise too. You don't have Zoraida here tonight, with Dixon now being on the bench to begin the second, new players being able to contribute their way.
Yeah, and this is also really a Bombers team, especially at 5-wide first-year class, where getting that experience and now ramping it up against good opponents in Rochester, and that only helps in the long run.
Both teams out of their timeout. Bombers with it from left to right in the home whites. Drevna, top of the key, pick and roll. Yorio down low, lays it up. She was wide open, shot's no good. And a foul on Watkins on the rebound towards McCulley, so Rochester takes it. Beautiful feed there, Drevna, just a loft pass to Yorio, just missing the layup on the right side.
Yeah, Yorio tried to go for the ball after the fact. Got called for the foul. She's up to 2.
Drejos over midcourt, Rochester from right to left. Drejos picks up the dribble. Right wing Jenks on the far side, pump fakes the 3. Left jab step comes to the top of the key, handoff Greenaway. Greenaway, down low Drejos. One more for Jenks. Shot's no good on the left side. Yorio now takes it. Polche over midcourt on the near side right wing. Polche picks up the dribble, has Drevna straight away. Drevna drives left side, has some room, gets it poked away from Jenks. She'll take it on the steal. One-on-one with Dubin. Jenks to her left side, throws it up. She's fouled. Shot's no good. 2 shots coming up for Kat Jenks, the senior guard.
Dubin tried her best in transition. She didn't go for the ball too forcefully. She put her hands up back and was just following Jenks' body. The contact got the foul, and now 2 free throws on the way.
And Yorio checks out, McPeak back in. We saw that in the first few minutes of the first quarter as well. 2 dribbles, first shot is up and good from Jenks. Now 4 for 4 this season from the stripe. Had 18.5 minutes per game just 2 seasons ago. Has seen a diminish in playing time. His second free throw is no good. Watkins takes the rebound. Bombers lead 22-12 with 7:40 remaining in the second. Drevna down low on the left block, McPeak. McPeak posts up. Now top of the key, Polche. Polche a left screen, left elbow, jumper. She's got it. Anna Polche off the screen from Watkins, putting one through. Bombers in front, 24-12. Drejos over the Ithaca logo. Here's McCulley, drives right side, right elbow. Hands off to Lindemuth. One more on that right side. Now top of the key, Jenks. Jenks, straight away 3-point shot. Rattles off, Polche the rebound. Polche with 5 rebounds so far, and the points just before. She's in the right wing, hesitates to her right side behind the back dribble. Now Drevna, pump fakes the 3. Drevna far side, Dubin on the left wing. She fakes the pass, comes back to McPeak on the right wing. McPeak wants a screen with 15 on the shot clock. Top of the key, Drevna. Drevna steps back towards her right side, now towards her left, goes to Watkins at the top of the key. Now with 8, Watkins drives left side, kisses it off the glass and in. Non-dominant hand won't matter for Watkins. Ithaca rolling, 26-12, 6:50 left in the second. Drejos at the top of the key. Rochester needs an answer. Sullivan hands off towards that same top of the key area. Grunewald. Far left wing shot. This one was for McCulley. Shot's no good. Polche now takes it. She's commanded the offense for the Bombers all night long. Junie Dixon still not in the game. Watkins with it straight away. Guarded by McCulley. Watkins with the 2 points before. Drives left side once again. She's blocked this time and picked up from Drejos as Rochester looking to push it now in transition, having some numbers. Jenks on the right side. Wide open layup. Drevna looks like she may have fouled her on a late whistle. That will be the call. And Jenks back to the free throw stripe for the second time in 2 minutes.
Yep, Drevna reached down, was going for the layup. Her wrist really made contact with the top of the head of Jenks. First it looked like the referee didn't even see it, then after the fact called the foul. Back to the line, Jenks goes for more free throws.
It was the near side ref by the Bomber bench that made the call, the one down low, not making that call. As Elizabeth Maycutt into the game here, Anya Watkins out, Drevna out, as well as Dubin, as Junie Dixon and Cameron Coffey, the 2 grad seniors, back into the game for Ithaca. 26-12, 6:16 left to go in the second. Jenks' first shot is good. 2 for 3 so far from the stripe here tonight. 31st all-time meeting between Rochester and Ithaca, but the Yellow Jackets taking the last 2. Jenks' second shot once again, it will miss on back-to-back trips. Junie Dixon, far pass, Coffey, left wing 3, she's wide open, in and out. Batted around down low, Polche going to save it for the Bombers by the Rochester bench on the near side. Dixon resets, calls out a play, few through the leg dribbles, goes to Coffey on the left wing. What a job from Polche as Coffey goes to Polche in the left corner. Polche posting up in the middle of the paint, throws it up. She's fouled. One more coming up at the line. And a Polche, the hustle plays, looking to convert the N1.
Definitely the Bomber player that stands out the most when it comes to her effort given on both sides of the court. Was able to corral the ball back. Then goes through the foul. Gets the 2 points. Wants 3 though.
5:52 left to go in the first half. 28-13 Bombers as Polche looking to convert the N1. Shooting 83% from the line this season. Her shot is up. Her shot is good. As Jillian Payne checks in, gives Anna Polche a heat check. She'll come off towards the bench. But what a start for this Bomber offense. Something we did not expect really after the way last weekend went against Vassar and Bart.
And especially as well with the variance of point scorers. Now 3 different Bombers after the free throw make from Polche with 5 or more points.
Frankie Gomez over midcourt at the top of the key, now right wing. Hands off McCoy, the grad senior. Now on the left wing on the near side, Gress. Cross-court pass, Gomez right wing. Right corner, Grunow. Grunow baseline. Left wing shot from 15 feet out. Pulakidis. Shot is no good. McCoy the rebound, gets it swept away from Payne. McPeak takes it, hands off to Dixon. Bombers over their logo from left to right. Right wing Maka. Maka jab steps with the left hand. Drives right side, has some room. Kick out McPeak. 13-foot jumper from the free throw line. Shot is no good. Payne the rebound. Bombers reset. Back to McPeak. Same shot. Second time the charm. No, it's not. And Drejos takes the rebound here. Foul called. And the Bombers will have to jog back on the defensive side. Now the 4th foul against the Bombers. 2 have come after rebounds on those little reach-in fouls.
Might have been for McPeak. She really wanted her 3rd chance at that mid-range shot with how she went back to the ball was off the rim. First foul and she gets credited for.
29-13, 5:03 left in the first half. Gomez top of the key. Right wing almost deflected. It's Grunow. Grunow, left-handed dribble. Back to her right. Drives down the lane on Maka. Shots no good. Great defense. Batted down low. Stays here with Rochester. Looked like it was off McPeak and Coffey, but great defense for Maka down low, the freshman. Plays guard at 5'8" with a lot of length.
Also was able to have that recognition when the ball was going out of bounds. She was able to step back.
Right side of the hoop, Gomez. Left elbow, Maka pokes it away. Rochester corrals here with Gress. Left wing 3 with 8 on the shot clock. Banks not open. Picked up down low, McCauley. She'll reset. Top of the key, Gress calling out a play. Back to McCauley on the near side, left wing. Pass down low in the hands of Payne. Batted around, both teams playing pinball. Bombers will take it. And Gomez not looking out for that pass. Payne had it right in her chest.
I think both players weren't looking for that pass. They didn't think it was coming their way and then just had to react to it on the fly.
4:30 left to go. Payne on the near side, right wing. Payne jab steps, left-handed dribble, goes top of the key, Coffey. Coffey left wing, Dixon. Dixon looking to pass. Drives to her right side on the screen from McPeak. Behind the back dribble. Drives left. 11-foot jumper from Dixon. She's got it. Junie Dixon, the patience. And finding her way on that left side. Ithaca in front, 31-13 in the first half. Here's McCauley. Top of the key. Handoff. Ring around the rosy for Rochester to Gress. Gress guarded by Payne. Gress down to McCauley. On the right block. Throws one up. She's fouled. One more coming up for the grad senior. Coffey on the foul. 5th against the Bombers. Now a 16-point game with 4:01 left to go in this first half. And a substitution, Hannah Lindemuth into the game here on the Rochester side. A player that had 700 points in her first 2 seasons. Kyle, some injuries the last few years for the grad senior.
Yeah, missed most of last season as well, especially due to an injury. You also have some Yellow Jackets who have been able to step up in her absence.
McCauley not going to convert the N1. McPeak grabs the rebound. Bombers from left to right with 3:55 left in the first half. Dixon, left wing Maka. Now to Coffey on the left wing extended, guarded by McCauley. Coffey fakes, now drives top of the key. Payne with it on that same spot. Payne drives left side, handoff Dixon. 13 on the shot clock. Dixon straight away in the paint to McPeak. McPeak smothered. Hook shot pass, it's taken away. McCauley a one-on-one transition with Payne. McCauley up with the left hand, off the glass and in. There's Rochester converting on turnovers. Now they bring a full court press. Dixon will dribble out of it, past the Ithaca logo. Dixon drives left side, straight away. The shot is up, the shot is no good. Rochester once again. Gress all alone in transition. The Euro step, left hand, it's in. Dan Raymond not happy. And Rochester Just a track race on the other side of the court.
That's their game. They want to speed it up. Dan Raymond said, slow it down. You still have some time in this first half.
31-19, 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Maka, now right wing Dixon on the near side by the Rochester bench. Dixon, smothered. Now steps back, foul called. This one goes against Greenaway on the defensive side. She was all over Dixon. Few too many reach-ins as two players for each side will check into the game. Polche and Watkins back in as McPeak and Payne come out. So Polche, Kyle, she was outstanding to begin this second quarter.
Outstanding really might be an understatement to how Polche was doing throughout this second quarter. Now a chance back into the game with 2:55 remaining in the first half.
Coffey gets it in. Now top of the key, Maka. Back to Coffey on the right wing. Pump fakes the three. Drives. Middle of the paint. She's blocked. Ball gets tipped away. Picked up from Jenks on the Rochester side from right to left. Jenks straight away. Right side. Blocked from Maka. Says, get out of town. Maka a shove from her teammates. Went one-on-one, and this time the Bombers get back on defense.
And she was shocked with how far that ball went off the ricochet. It's the push, and now Rochester underneath.
Trejos, the freshman guard, slaps her left hand, gets it in under the hoop. Lindemuth spins to her left side off the glass, gets the lucky roll. 10-point game just like that with 2:30 left to go in the first half. No timeout for Dan Raymond and the Bombers as Polche comes over midcourt. Right wing Maka on the near side, a left jab step, down low Dixon. Dixon, 11-foot jumper from the corner, nothing but net. Junie Dixon can do it on the ball, off the ball. She's done so much. The transfer to Cal Poly. As Jim Scheibel, the head coach of Rochester, calling out a play for Trejos coming over midcourt. Trejos on the left wing, near side by Polche. Right wing Lindemuth. Lindemuth guarded by Coffey. She dribbles to her right side. On the right elbow. Spins. Middle of the paint. Back to her right side. Finger roll, it's in. And Rochester, 4 straight possessions, 4 straight scores. Back to a 10-point game under 2 minutes. Polche on the left wing, far side. A screen from Watkins. Now top of the key, Polche. Picks up her dribble. Left wing Maka. Foul call down low. Goes against Rochester on Trejos. It was the off-ball foul. That's going to be the third against the Yellow Jackets. Bombers take it under the cup. As Trinity Johnson, the sophomore forward at 6'2", comes into the game. Takes out the grad senior in McCulley. Dixon bats the ball with 20 on the shot clock. Far left side corner to Polche. Polche leans over, fakes the pass, turns her body away. Now top of the key, Dixon. Dixon, 2 through the leg dribbles. Guarded heavily. Loses the basketball. 10 on the shot clock. Dixon corrals. Left elbow, contested jumper. Left iron, no good. Watkins the rebound. She saves it, but Trejos picks it up for Rochester. Trejos in transition. You can call the Yellow Jackets. They like to sting in transition. Right wing 3. This one's no good from Lindemuth. Maka the rebound, her third. Bombers now push it with Coffey. And Raymond says slow it down. Coffey goes top of the key, Polche. Minute 05 left to go in the first half. Ithaca in front, 33-23. Top of the key, Maka. Now to Watkins at the free throw line. Spins to her right side with a contact. She's blocked down low from Johnson. Here's Trejos in transition over the Ithaca logo. Trejos to her right side. The shot is up. She loses possession. Now corrals. Rochester on the right elbow. Lindemuth toward that side. Coffey with the block. Both sides trading punches. Dixon in transition, right elbow. Now Maka drives baseline, throws it up with the floater. Off the mark. Watkins the rebound. Throws it up. She's blocked with 33 seconds. 25 on the shot clock. Trejos drives towards the middle of the paint. Poked away. She resets. And Rochester and everybody, they need a second. Trejos takes 5 steps back all the way towards half court. Now on the right wing. Top of the key, drives right side. Trejos towards the right wing. Lindemuth on the far side. 14 on the game clock, 8 on the shot clock. Handoff on the right wing. It's Jenks. Now to the left elbow, Johnson. Johnson drives. 2 on the shot clock. Now 1. Johnson will not get a shot off. Polche wanted to travel, and the Bombers hold Rochester for their final shot in the second quarter here. With 3.8 seconds left now, Kyle, the Bombers get 1 shot.
1 shot to go. You see some pressing as well for the Yellow Jackets. Might be that 1-2-2 look that they go for. Right now it looks to look more like a man for the time being.
Can Junie Dixon do it again? She has the ball at half court. Right wing, Dixon, right corner, Coffey throws it out of bounds with 0.6 seconds left to go. Dixon ended the first on a buzzer beater. She will not end the second with that mark. 0.6 seconds, and Rochester the length of the court here to finish off. Full court pass. Wide open's Grunewald. She throws up a shot. Not going to bank it in. And that will end the first 2 quarters of play here from Bentley. 33-23, Bombers in front. They went on a 12-3 run, but Rochester came back in the final few minutes of the first half. Halftime show coming up. Devin Jarvis and Matt Giavoni got you covered, but second half coming up here. Still falling in the South Hill. We got hoops for you. Cam Anna and Kyle DeSantis will step away and be back for quarter number 3.
With 4:21 left in the second quarter, the Ithaca Bombers had the largest lead of the night, 31-13. Of 18 points was that lead. But since then, the Rochester Yellow Jackets flipped the script, ending the second half with a score of 33-23. And in the last, I believe, 4 minutes and 21 seconds, outscored the Bombers 10-2. It was a flip of the script, you could say, and Rochester looking very strong as you go into halftime. Right now, June Dixon leading the Bombers in scoring with 11 points. Coming in second was Cameron Coffey with 6, who got all of those points in the first quarter. The other side of things, it's Gress with 9 points, leading Rochester in that category. I'm Devin Jarvis, joined alongside Matt Giavoni here in Ben Light Gymnasium, as this match really favors the Bombers right now, but if you continue this pattern that ended the second half, it's going to go toward the Yellow Jacket side of things.
Yeah, and let me tell you, it's interesting that it was able to kind of have that flipped script, because we saw initially Rochester's defense come out and do a great job against Ithaca. They came out with kind of a zone disguised as a man, or the opposite actually, a man disguised as a zone, where they were just moving the whole time but staying on their individual person they have to cover. And Ithaca wasn't really able to find any open options. Again, they only scored 2 within like the first 5 minutes of this game. Then as Rochester calmed down a little bit, they weren't able to keep up kind of that disguised defense that they were running with the first 5 minutes of this game, and Ithaca started to shoot like we know they can. Junie Dixon, what can't you say about her? She gets these amazing shots off that really somebody with her experience, and only somebody with her experience, will be able to give you at this level. But recently it has been Rochester who's been able to kind of claw their way back into this one, and they've really just been taking advantage of those transitional offenses off of turnovers and crashing the board like they really have done all season.
Certainly, Matt, and it definitely comes from their production inside the three-point line. Right now from deep, they're 1 for 8 on the game. And you look at the people who are usually productive. Gress, 1 for 3 from beyond the arc, as well as Gronenwood, who's 0 for 3 on the day, and McCauley 2 for 5 with 5 points of her own. And you generally look at these fast break points, like you said. Rochester with 2. Bombers can't find 1 so far tonight. In the paint, Ithaca dominating 20 points. To the other side, 16. And really, when you go back to Junie Dixon, she just kind of lights the fire for this Bombers squad. She ended the first quarter with a step-back three-point buzzer beater to kick things off, and you immediately saw the energy from the Ithaca side of things right as they came into the second quarter was completely different. They were firing on all cylinders and brought that energy of a high-confidence team. June Dixon, the only point in the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds for the Bombers in this game. And really, it's all about that, whether or not the Bombers can keep finding that production. She's 5 from 10 on the night so far. And you go to Cameron Coffey, who's 3 for 4 of her last 4 field goals that she's taken. But like I said, those points from her have only come in the first quarter. What do we got for predictions as we go into the second half and maybe see a new look from both sides?
Well, I'll tell you what, Junie Dixon's going to keep doing what she's done. That's what the Bombers expected her to do the whole season, and it's what she's done the whole season. What they need to see is more efficiency from the rest of their shooters. Somebody like Cameron Coffey, as great as that SportsCenter top 10 moment was, they don't want to rely on that to win their games. They want to keep this comfortable lead that they've built up so far, so they want to see more efficient shooting, especially from beyond the arc, as they've got a huge advantage on paper coming into this game beyond the arc, as opposed to Rochester, who's on the season so far only shot about 23% from the 3, which, again, that's not a formula for success. I think we're going to see more of the same from each team. It'll be interesting to see if Rochester can come out with the same fire that they did at the beginning of that first quarter, because if they do, I could see Rochester definitely making this more of a game than the 10-point deficit they find themselves in now. But if Ithaca can come out and shoot like they did at the second half of that first quarter, I think they're running away with this one.
Bombers in the second quarter had quite a run to start things off. They got that 18-point lead, but ended the quarter only 37.5 from the field, 33% from beyond the arc. The other side, it was Rochester who was 0% from 3 on 3 attempts. And generally, look at the depth from both sides. Only 5 different scores for the Yellow Jackets. Well, for Ithaca, they've got 7, including a couple 4 or 5, 6 point scores. They're looking pretty solid right now. 33-23 your score. And, you know, when it comes to what Ithaca can do, it's really bringing out people you don't expect. Like we talked about before, Zoraida Ikabalseta not in the game tonight. We didn't see her at practice yesterday. We didn't see her at the game today. A couple question marks where she might be. Don't want to speculate anything. Of course, hoping for the best in her scenario. But generally, the Bombers still seem to prevail without their main point guard leader.
Yeah, and that's definitely we've seen what happens when you don't have her, as they've just struggled a little bit to find those. Again, if you're missing your assist leader, your leading point guard, you're going to struggle to find those opportunities that the assists can usually give them to get people open. They haven't found success, and a lot more turnovers than maybe we will typically see, just because they're missing that main point guard that has led this team in assists and really gotten them open opportunities the whole season.
And it really came down to that competitiveness between the last part of this half, where the Bombers just seemed to not make the shots they usually would, not find the looks they usually would on the other side. Rochester just taking advantage of everything they can. Right now, you look at those rebounds, and it's 20-25 in favor of the Bombers. But I'm guessing if you only look at those last 4 minutes and 20 seconds, it's not the case. Bombers right now are coming back onto the court, looking to change up what they saw in that last part of the second half, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, to me, it's really simple. They haven't played a bad game at all yet. They just need to hit some of those shots. And really, you could say that for both teams, but there's been a couple where Ithaca's gotten the looks that they liked, and it just hasn't fallen like where we typically see from this Bombers team throughout their first 7 games of the season so far. So definitely, they want to continue playing their game that they've played. They just need to start draining more of these shots that they haven't quite been able to hit today. Certainly.
You take the middle 10 minutes of that first half, and you're looking at the Bombers with 29 points. In the first 5 minutes, they only had 2. In the last 5 minutes, they only had 2. So it really came in once they found their groove, slow to start, slow to end. But if they can find that groove in the middle, you know they will be pretty solid as they're warming up right now. And you're listening to WICB Ithaca 91.7. We're going to send it off to the second half of play, but with Kyle DeSantis and Cam Manna on the call. I'm Devin Jarvis, joined alongside Matt Giavoni. We'll be here after the game ends for another post-game analysis. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you in just a few moments.
Yellow Jackets. 10 points separate both teams. The Bombers lead by the 10 points, 33-23. They're looking to get their first home win of the season here in Ben Light Gymnasium. Alongside Cam Manna, I'm Kyle DeSantis. Also thanks to Abby Bladen in the Park School Studios for the producing job there, as well as our field producer and Alex Reprute. And Cam, it was really that first quarter where the Bombers were able to get ahead, get some more points up, and really build the bulk of that lead that they have now.
Yeah, and the big thing in that first quarter as well was just finding the offense. Early on to start the game, when you have a new starting lineup without Zoraida, who controls most of that offense, it's finding, okay, what is these 5 players, with Anya Watkins being that 5th player, how are we going to be able to contribute on the offensive side? And once they got going, they have not stopped. Led by 18 points, Polche with some huge hustle plays, and Junie Dixon, a lot of times it's just ISO for number 11, being able to work off ball screens and find her way on the offensive side.
33-23 in favor of Ithaca. Third quarter about to get underway. Hannah Polche from right to left. She's taking over the point guard duties for Zoraida Ichabal-Seta. On the right perimeter, handoff to Dixon. Being worked on by Drehos. Tries to drive NCAA logo. Ticked away into the hands of Hallie McCulley. McCulley to the right side. Swings it to Drehos, who calms down the offense. Right wing, guarded by Watkins. To the top of the key. Waiting for some cuts. Now over the top, down low. Passes outside, it was to Grunewood. Left wing 3, too strong, off of the hands of McCulley. And for Yorio, the rebound right to left. Pauses at the perimeter. Left wing call for here. 3 is blocked by Abby Gress. Drehos takes it back. Left to right. The Yellow Jackets go. Crossover back to the right hand. 9:14 to go in the third quarter. Still by 10, the Bombers lead. Slows down top of the key once more. Drehos the pass from Gress. Calls out the play, guarded by Yorio. Right wing Gress tries to go down low, all tipped to Yorio, goes out of bounds where the ball is called down. The pass was intended for Callie McCulley.
A really good job there from Yorio, reading that passing lane, getting a hand on it. Now Rochester has to reset with 10 on the shot clock.
Both teams scoreless the last 2.5 minutes, give or take. That's coming from the second quarter into now. McCulley, right wing, guarded by Yorio, tries to drive with the right, fades back, and the ball is tipped. Yorio takes it down. Right to left. Cuts back to the right. Goes off the glass. Too strong off front rim. Rims out. Tipped around before it continues to be a Bomber possession, with the referee giving the signal. Dixon underneath. She'll pass it out. 8:47 to go in the third quarter. Bombers still lead 33-23. Passes to Coffey on the left corner. Up top now to Watkins. Straight away goes to Coffey around the perimeter. Too strong on the layup attempt. Back it goes for Grunewood. Slows down the offense in the hands of McCulley. Goes up top once more to Gress. Fakes the 3 with the right dribble. And that one's blocked by Yorio with the foul called after the fact.
Tough one there for Yorio down low. Got caught with just that right hand swiping down a little bit too much. Looked like a lot of ball. And it seems like for Yorio, too, kind of hoping for that foul on the offensive side to be called when she drives.
Yorio now has 3 fouls on the night. First free throw from Gress is up and off the back iron. Moves back to her. Get some handshakes of encouragement from her teammates as she tries to split the 2 free throw attempts with 8:28 to go in the third quarter. Gets the second to go. Now it's Ithaca by 9, 33-24, 8:26 to go. Press broken by the Bombers. Past the right perimeter. Polche a step inside the arc off the strong part of the rim. McCulley moving from left to right. Guarded by Polche. He's playing heavy defense. Keeps it. Now falls down. Polche gets possession of the basketball.
Great defense there from Polche. Whole entire way on McCulley and just keeping her hands out. McCulley lost her footing.
She'll jog over the midcourt stripe. Pass to the left wing Dixon. Dixon goes for Yorio on the left block. Pulls up for the shot, and she swishes it. Bombers by 11, 35-24. 7:50 to go in the third quarter. Drehos not wasting any time with the ball. Now on the right perimeter. Up top, the pass to Dumiak. Give it to Gress, left wing 3. Too strong off the back iron. Ball out of the hands of Junie Dixon. And the pass goes into Polche's hands from Grunewood. Polche near the left corner. Swung around to the right corner for Coffey. Tried to go inside for Watkins. Tipped by Dumiak. An overlay to Drehos with the layup. No one in front of her. She gets the 2 points.
And that's what Rochester has done a really good job of in this game. Quick points in transition on the fast break.
35-26 in favor of the Bombers. 7:08 to go in the third quarter. Yorio tries to drive with the left. Goes up with the right. She draws the foul from Callie McCulley. Strong slash to the left block. Layup gives McCulley her first foul, and for Annabella Yorio, her first 2 attempts at the line.
And the 2 of them trade fouls on both ends in the last minute and a half. And a great drive there from Yorio, just getting her body in front to kind of forced that foul from McCauley trying to go over the top.
Just the second free throw the Bombers have taken all night. Off the front of the rim. Bounces out from Annabella Yorio. Yorio from the charity stripe. 40%, 10 for 25 before that last miss. She wants to go 1 for 2 and does so. Bombers up by 10, 36-26. 7:05 to go in the third quarter. Head tap from Dre Host. The play call left to right. Up top guarded by Polche. Moves it over to Gress behind the back dribble to the left hand. She pulls up from the elbow extended. Rebound McCauley. Back to Gress. Fakes and drives for the layup. Not enough there. Rebound Coffee. Right to left the Bombers go. Has Yorio on the outlet, but she keeps it, then gives it to her on the corner. Cross back, Yorio arriving on the baseline. Tries to pass out, and it's intercepted by Gress, moving from left to right. As Drehos on the block, passes to her over the top, gets the layup off the glass and in.
A lot of these points right now, Kyle, just coming straight in transition, too. Not a lot of time for Rochester to set up.
Bombers lead by 8, 36-28. 6:19 to go in the third quarter. Yorio the ball on the left wing with possession. Has Dixon on the cut, though gives it to Watkins. Free throw line, pulls up. Not enough off the backboard. Drehos, the point guard. Swings to the left wing. 3-ball attempt for Rochester off the front rim. The attempt was by Grunewood. Coffee the board. Gives to Polche, who brings it up near the midcourt logo. 5:53 to go in the third quarter. 36-28, the Bombers lead. Polche has the ball on the right wing and now bounces it over to Watkins. Cross-court pass to Coffee. Drives with the left. Pulls up with the right. The free throw, and rather that layup bounces on it. Bombers up 10. 5:36 to go in the third quarter. Riley Drehos to Dumiak. Right wing up top now. Once more, it's Drehos the basketball. Gress, left-hand dribble, pass inside. Layup attempt that goes off the glass from Claire Grunewood. Converts. Bombers lead trims down to 8. 5:16 to go in the third. Yorio around the perimeter. Up top to Polche for the offense. Swings left Dixon. Extended there. Now free throw line Watkins. Dribbles with the left. Tries to drive. Not enough off the backboard. Tried to be saved by Callie McCauley. Though she stepped out of bounds. Maintains Bomber possession. Subs for IC. Jillian Payne and Elizabeth Maka in for Anya Watkins and Cameron Coffey. Also, Tori Drevna checks in for the starter in Hannah Polche.
3 different subs there, and the job that Maka did when she was in had a big block, a few nice possessions on the offensive side.
38-30 for the Bombers, the lead with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Maka the ball on the left wing after the give and go from Drevna in front of the Keys with the clock down to 4. Gets the rebound, Maka. Too strong off the glass, gets another opportunity, and goes in. Lead for IC back up to 10, 40-30. 4:41 to go in the third quarter. Transition offense for Pulakidis. Swings it to the left side. Now back up top, it's Linda Muth. Just a step inside the arc off the back iron. Tips up and into the hands of Yorio, who almost got caught up with Dixon. Same team. Right to left, the Bombers go. Yorio slowing things down with 4:22 to go in the third quarter. Another slow start to the second half as it was to the first. Right NCAA logo, it's Yorio. Driving with the left hand, pulls up. Past the free throw line, rims out. Rochester possession. Maka tried to go for the rebound, but it went out of bounds underneath the basket.
And really tough there, too. The Bombers, their offense so far, Kyle, has been just a lot of the guards trying to come off these screens and those pull-up jumpers. They were falling in the first half, haven't fallen so far here.
Backup point guard in Frankie Gomez, hands off to Gruss. Now swings to Grunewood. Over the top now. Through double coverage and 2 defenders was Tia Pulakidis. Goes up for the layup, called for the foul. Elizabeth Maka is.
A lot of bright spots so far for the Bombers in this game, up by 10. But the big thing, too, we can talk about is they haven't gotten themselves into too much foul trouble where there's been a bonus chance for Rochester. We saw that in Vassar where Yorio fouled out of the game. So far they've kept themselves in check in that department. Just got to keep Yorio and those foul numbers not nearing 3 at the moment.
Pulakidis, her 8th free throw of this season. Nothing but nylon to make it 6 for 8. On the campaign, 75%. Cuts the Bomber lead to 9, 40-31. 3:53 to go in the third quarter. Off the back iron, the second attempt goes into the hands of Jillian Payne. Right to left, pushing, and now passing to the right side. Dixon past the midcourt stripe. Between the leg dribble, back to Payne, on the corner. Far shot off the front rim. Rebound Maka trying to go behind the back pass to Drevna. Ball on the ground, jump ball called. Possession arrow favors the visiting Yellow Jackets, who take possession with 3:37 left in the third.
A rush shot there from Payne on that right side. She felt herself open, but stepped in. That's one of the toughest shots in basketball when you're a step inside the three-point line.
Gomez, right wing. Pass over to Lindemuth on the left wing on the perimeter. Pass over the top, cut off. It's Kat Jenks, right wing. Swing over to Pulakidis. Goes with a left-handed dribble. Puts up a shot off the back right of the rim. Junie Dixon pushing things for the Bombers. In transition, dribbles back to the left. Goes for the layup, too strong over the basket and into the hands of Jenks. Other way, left to right. Jenks at the free throw line. Over to the right corner. Three ball up and in. Made there by Hannah Lindemuth. 40-34, the Bombers still lead. Now only down to 6 with 2:48 left in the third. Payne, the pass from Dixon, straight away. Now to Dixon on the right wing. Her three ball off the back right of the rim. Rebound Jenks. Trapped by Payne and into the hands of Yorio after she tried to force it away. Yorio's layup bounces off the glass and down. Bombers lead back up to 8 with 2:25 to go in the third quarter here on 92 WICB Ithaca and the Bomber Radio Network. Frankie Gomez. Pass is tipped by Dixon. Taking her time. Right-handed layup. Bomber lead back up to 10.
Great job there from Dixon reading the pass and finding her way coast to coast. Took a lot of time to lay that one in.
2:04 left in the third quarter. Bombers lead back up by 10, 44-34. Gomez swings to Lindemuth, had the three earlier. Waits for McCulley, no screen there. Straight away, three ball. Short off the front of the rim, rebound Gomez, ball on the ground. Micah falls down on top of it, another jump ball. This time Ithaca has the possession. Substitutions for both sides, as for the Bombers, it's Watkins and Polche coming in. Raquel Williams, Riley Drehos, and those are the substitutions. Thought there was a third. Might have been Haley Dumiak who comes in as well for the Yellow Jackets.
And you wonder here for the Bombers, too, with Dixon out, been contributing on the offensive side. Now Polche has to get back to those early second quarter ways and now control the offensive side.
Yeah, Dixon leads all scorers in this game with 13 points. She heads out now. Left wing the ball for Payne. Looks for Drevna on the handoff, though it doesn't work. This time goes for Polche. Now to the left elbow, straight away now. Crosses over. Shot clock down to 8. Drevna behind the back. Crosses back to the right, goes to the left. Has to pick it up. She loses her dribble. Watkins drives with the left. Fakes, fades off the back iron into the hands of Raquel Williams. Left to right, the Yellow Jackets in transition. Lindemuth on the left corner takes the baseline drive. Guarded by Polche. Has to dribble back with the right. Tipped by Watkins. Looks for Dumiak. Watkins in transition. Layup. Too strong off the glass. Rims off the front of the rim. Now under a minute to go. Ithaca still leads by 10, 44-34. Drehos on the left wing. Lindemuth taking her time. Looks like she'll wind down some of the clock. Working with Dumiak straight away. The top of the key. Cuts back and forth. Swings to the right, Williams. 7 on the shot clock. Now to the left side, Jenks. Her three ball. Connects. Kat Jenks, just her third three of the season. Cuts the Bomber lead to 7. 27 seconds left in the third quarter. Drevna will take her time. Further on the elbow extended. On the right wing, Watkins, she pulls up, and she swishes it. Bombers now back up to a 9-point lead. Clock still running with 10 left. Drehos with possession. Down to 6. Handoff to Lindemuth on the right wing. 3. Tries to drive. She pulls up from 4 feet out, and she cans it to wrap up the third quarter. Back and forth scoring after a slow start to the third quarter. Bombers still have the lead, though it's down to 7 points, 46-37.
Big thing right now, too, for the Bombers, and Dan Raymond will be preaching it, too. He was saying on the defensive side, the Bombers have to communicate a little bit more. We talked about it, Kyle. Rochester loves to have these screens on the off ball or up top for their guards to move off those screens and use the tall players, the forwards and centers they have down low with their size and get them on some pick and rolls. So the big thing for the defense right now, getting that communication back as Rochester, too many easy buckets in that third quarter.
That was one thing as well that was preached last night in practice where the Bombers were at their best, especially with one of the assistant coaches in Jordan Beers saying that when they're communicating at that high level with that high intensity where, again, in practice, you're trying to simulate the game as much as possible. When you're communicating at that level, that's when the Bombers performed at their best last night.
And really the same time, too, right now on the field goal percentage side of things, the Bombers were shooting nearing 48%. You come out of this third quarter now at 38, Rochester up to 33. So there's those simple tasks as well. Rochester now just hitting more of their shots. And we saw the Bombers, too, an easy layup there from Watkins in transition. That's something, too, that has to change here. And you have those easy buckets in a game like this where Rochester is crawling back, now down by 7. You have to make those bunny shots.
The inverse, really, of the first quarter. Ithaca shot 47% against 25 for the Yellow Jackets. This time, the Rochester Yellow Jackets shot just under 43% in the third quarter. Bombers 30, 6 for 20. Also 0 for 3 on 3 balls, while Rochester was 2 of 5. Starting 5 for the Bombers takes the court. Dixon, Polche, Coffey, Watkins, and Yorio. But the Yellow Jackets will have the possession moving from left to right. Jex passes out to the starter in Drejos. The point guard brings things up. Hand off to Lindemuth. Working off the defense from Polche. Just able to get it off to Jenks. Still on the right wing. Lindemuth fakes the 3. Now to Drejos. Further down the wing. McCauley near the NCAA logo up top. Williams swung to the left side for Jenks out of her reach. About a step to Jenks' right. The pass was. It's a turnover.
And on that first possession, too, just seeing the Bombers communicate more, diving through passing lanes and making it troubling on the Yellow Jackets.
Polche brings things across the midcourt stripe. Now Tori Drevna. As to the top of the key for Polche, her 3 ball. Rims out. Back iron to the front rim and into the hands of Callie McCauley. Left to right, the pass over to Lindemuth. Hesitation to the left side. Now dribbling on the block. Swings to the right as the pass out to the right wing 3. McCauley tries, air ball. Jenks gets the rebound and forces one up off the front rim. This time it's Tori Drevna with the board. Jenks tried to go after it. Jump ball called. IC has possession.
And what, right now the Bombers, too, Elizabeth Maka, freshman, we've seen her so far, Kyle, in this game on the offensive and defensive side, corralling rebounds, second chance points there, trying to keep a possession alive on the defensive side and corral it for the Bombers. It was Drevna with the last touch, but really good job for the freshman.
8:58 to go in the fourth quarter. Ithaca leads by 7, 46-39. Polche trying to work off a Watkins screen, has to bustle through herself and puts in the floater. 8 points, the lead for Ithaca, 48-39. Polche now gets to 7 points on the night. Pass down low to Drejos, tipped by Drevna, and she keeps it away. Pass midcourt, drives with her left. Up top to Maka, swings left, further down to Coffey from Polche. On the left block, Watkins puts it up, too strong off the left rim. Spins out, and it's Ithaca possession after McCauley tried to pass it away to Abby Gress. Well, the tip could have realistically gone for Rochester, and the refs say that it is indeed Rochester who gets the ball.
Quick conversation right there, and that's what it looked like the whole entire way. The Bombers, it was that quick second, man, we kept this possession alive, but Rochester will take it as they go to the bench here. It looks like Frankie Gomez into the game in the point guard spot.
Across the stripe with 8:17 to go in the game. 48-39, Ithaca with the lead. Jenks on the right wing. Lindemuth now. Up top, straight away off of the Gress screen. To the left elbow extended. Underhand toss to Gomez. To McCauley. Straight away with the shot clock down to 9. Tries to post up. Pass to Gress on the right wing. Behind the perimeter, spin move. Free throw line shot off the back iron. Rebound Maka. Gives to Drevna quickly. Has Polche in transition, but she keeps it herself with the left hand. Tries to go for the acrobatic shot with the right hand. Jenks picks it up. McCauley gets the ball and now gives it out to Gress from left to right. Trying to go baseline off Polche. Gress just muscles on through for the layup. 48-41, 7:29 to go in the game. Pulche tries to go for a 2-pointer. Self-foul called. Frankie Gomez was playing defense on the driving Pulche and gets called for the block. And the starter now, realistically the starting point guard in this game, goes to the line.
You almost think, too, there, the Bombers left to slow it on the offensive side. Pulche understood she could take that basketball and saw the lane and couldn't pass up on that opportunity towards the right side.
Pulche, her first free throw is up and good. Really good from the free throw line. Now after that last make, 11 for 13 so far on the season. Wants to go 12 for 14. She does now around the 86% mark. The substitution brings Watkins out and McPeak in for the Bombers. They lead by 9, 50-41, 7:27 left. Gomez working with the speed. Up top, McPeak, the defender. Now to Dumiak, trying to muscle her way through before the pass to Grunewood. Down low on the block to Gress underneath. Quick pass out to Gomez off the backboard and down on the block. Bombers up 7 with 7 minutes left. 50-43 the score. Yurio top of the key. Pulche now swings it over to Coffey. Coffey the left wing, up top Dixon the pass. Other side for Pulche. Working the perimeter, down low for Coffey. Outlet pass and the layup. Points at Pulche for the 5. 52-43, 6:40 left. Dumiak working off of 2 defenders, now swings on to Gomez to the right side. Quick bounce pass over to Gress, the up and under finish on the baseline.
Great finish there on the reverse, finding their way down low. Rochester taking tough shots to stay in this game.
Scoop shot makes it 52-45 in favor of Ithaca. 6:18 to go in the fourth quarter. The mid-range spot, left side. Yurio pulls up the shot off the front left of the rim. Rebound by Gomez. Goes left to right. Big pass to Jenks. Almost wasn't ready for it. And she, in fact, was not ready for it. Too strong off of the hands of Gomez. Jenks tried to keep it and pass out over to Lindemuth, but she was out of bounds.
And Rochester didn't need that there. We saw in that third quarter for the Yellow Jackets their ability to have those long passes and work in transition with a fast break. That was their bread and butter, keeping them in this game. Big miss there.
One of those times where you go too fast for a Rochester team that likes to push the pace. They trail by 7, 52-45, 5:54 left in the game. Dixon driving on the left block, passes out to Yurio, up top Coffey. She dribbles herself and the ball is tipped, but she tried to go for the layup, though it does stay in possession of Ithaca after the defense from Lindemuth.
Really good defense there, but now the Bombers have this reset. You watch out now for maybe Coffey on this bounce back. She's inbounding.
5:47 left in the game, 52-45 the score in favor of the Bombers. Dixon steps back. Off the back left iron, McPeak goes for the board, but Drevna picks it up and goes for her shot off the back right iron. Tipped out of bounds in favor of the Bombers off of the fingertips of Haley Dumiak.
And it looks like here Coach Scheibel will go to the bench with McCauley and bringing out Dumiak. And now wants McCauley to be in the game on both sides, what she can do.
Coffey passes out once again underneath the basket. This time goes to Tori Drevna. Good pass down low to Yurio off the right block, the layup. Bombers lead by 9, 54-45, 5:25 left in the game. Right wing Lindemuth, off of the pass from Gress. Goes behind the back to the left, guarded by Dixon. Goes up for the shot of force off of the backboard, and now McPeak falls on over. Jump ball was called in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Also had Gomez diving for the ball as well. There's 13 on the shot clock that the Yellow Jackets have to work. Gomez will pass out underneath the basket. Takes her time. Now goes on over to Lindemuth. NCAA logo. Shot clock down to 10. In the paint. Out to Gress. It's been moved to the left. Tries to pass on over the top. The foul called on the layup attempt. Going to the line was Claire Grunewood. Cameron Coffey gets the call.
You almost think they're, though, wide open for Grendawood to put that shot in. In a way, a good foul there for Coffey. First here in the fourth with 5 minutes remaining. Now you have to hope for some misses.
First free throw is off the front of the rim from Claire Grunewood. 14 for 19 entering today, now 14 of 20 on the season. Still young, though, only the 7th game. First one is also a little short, but gets the bounce on it. 54-46, 5:02 to go as Anna Polche checks back in for Avery McPeak on the Bombers side. Junie Dixon will bring the ball from right to left. Now halfway officially through the 4th quarter of play. Dixon guarded by Gomez. Near the Bomber logo. Coffey to Yorio, whose shot is blocked by McCulley. Gets the ball back, though. Polche slows things up top of the key, guarded out there by Jenks. Off the Yorio screen. Shot clock down to 8. Still the ball, Polche. Passes to Yorio. Pulls up with a shot off the back left rim. Fight for it underneath. McCulley has the possession. Looks like she called a timeout almost. Indeed, it was a timeout. Rochester will talk things over again by their head coach, Jim Scheibel. His 25th season with Rochester, 33rd overall season as a head coach. Previously, he also had stops at Elmira and Clarkson. So kind of central and upstate New York has been Scheibel's bread and butter when it's come to his coaching career.
11, 20-plus winning seasons for him. And, back in 2017, this Rochester team went to the Elite Eight. Lost to UMass Amherst in that game. But a program, too, Kyle, that under Scheibel looking to get back on track. Won 16 games last season, but in their conference, last 3 seasons, 4th, and 6th place. And games like these in the Attic Conference want to get kind of your foot under you to help yourself in a good conference that they play in with the hopes of NYU and Emory.
The UAA, again, NYU, Emory. Few of the teams involved also have Carnegie Mellon, University of Chicago, among others. Rochester has possession left to right, 4:29 to go in the game. They trail by 8, 54-46 at Ben Light Gymnasium. Gress, left side, and Lindemuth, she pulls it. Rims out. Rebound by McCulley. Second chance opportunity on the way. Lindemuth almost wanted the same spot for the 3. Keeps the ball on the ground, now to the right wing. Down for Gress, the pass, and the layup follow. McCulley, almost a backdoor cut to cut the Bomber lead to 6. 54-48, Polche has possession past the Bomber logo at midcourt. Coffey a drive of her own off the left glass and down. Back up to 8 Ithaca leads, 56-48. 3 minutes and change left. Jenks down low to McCulley, who goes to Gomez, too strong on the layup. Dixon, right to left, down the middle, behind the back, and now the pass to Coffey. Paint is wide open, another chance for her. Timeout call. Jim Scheibel has seen enough. Bombers back up 10, 58-48. 3:25 left in the game. Still some time left. Ithaca has their eyes so far on their first home win of the season.
And a great take there from Coffey. Driving to her left side, that hesitation towards the left corner. Faked everybody on Rochester, and Coffey had that open layup towards the left side, non-dominant, I should add. But yeah, for the Bombers here, looking to get that first home win. We talked about it pregame, how well they've done in their last 13 home games, what they've been able to do here inside of Benley. That 3rd loss actually came this season, but against a good Trinity team, number 7 in the nation. And they were in that game, a 9-point loss. But being on the road, too, when you win close games and you have those battles, being back at home makes it that much better to just practice here, be in your locker room, and now you want to get hot here when it matters inside the South Hill.
Bombers currently have a little bit of the hot hand. They're up by 10 with 3:25 left in the game, 58-48. Rochester moves from left to right. Also, the 2 straight layups by Cameron Coffey before the timeout have her now with a 14-point night, leading IC. Gress trying to drive on the aforementioned Coffey, gets her own layup to fall. Right, the sweet spot, middle of the backboard on that box. Bomber lead trails to 8 at the eye for the Ithaca logo. Polche is before the free throw line pass to Yorio. Fakes and drives on McCulley. And the jump ball is called in favor of the Bombers. First look at it could have almost been a travel. How the defense was played. Dixon, though, will take it underneath. Passes out to Coffee, and it's tipped out of bounds by Abby Gress, though it was by a Yellow Jacket who made the contact.
And I'll be kind of in that left corner by all the fans for the Bombers, just backed up over there.
Dixon goes to Drevna on the right NCAA logo. Right wing, three, short off the front right rim. McCulley, the rebound, didn't have to move. Pass over the top for Gomez from left to right. She drives and kicks out to Jenks, who goes baseline, layup of her own off the glass and in. It's a 6-point game. Things are getting interesting. 58-52, 2:37 left. Timeout call. This time it's Dan Raymond wanting to talk with his team. First Bomber timeout of the game.
And for them on the offensive side, it's a few rush shots the last few possessions. Good defense there from the Rochester side on Yorio. You talked about it almost looked like a travel, but that reset to come in. Almost looked like a rush deep three from Dixon. Right now, if you're the Bombers, you have this 6-point lead, 2:36 left to go. Big thing right now is take the offensive possessions and kind of wind that clock, take the smart shot. Don't need to rush here for points. You want those smart chances, high percentage takes, and hope the defense can stand tall.
Speaking of those smart chances, that's what Rochester's capitalized on. 50% from the field in this fourth quarter, 6 for 12 from the field. They've missed a pair of threes, though they are 3 for 13, or rather 3 for 15 from behind the arc, so that doesn't nearly factor in as much. Bombers also having a three-point drought. Made 2 of 6 threes in the first half. They are 0 for 6 from 3 in the second. Jordan Beers, the assistant coach and former Bomber shooting guard, talking things over with her team, as well as Dan Raymond getting those final words of encouragement before both teams take the floor with 2:36 remaining. Bombers lead by 6, 58-52. Ithaca has the possession after the tip out of bounds by Gress when Dixon tried to hand out underneath the basket. This time it's Drevna on the right baseline. Goes to Polche. Get a new shot clock as well, the Bombers do, with Drevna trying to find out what to do up top to Dixon. The pass goes behind the back, on the left elbow. Was looking for Coffee and gets moved out from behind by Gomez. Left to right, Abby Gress. Behind the back to slow things down and pass to the point guard up top in Gomez, who goes to the left. Lindemuth on the perimeter behind the back herself, drives to the left. Ball gets kicked around, though it was just off the leg. Bomber basketball. 2:09 left. Ithaca up by 6, 58-52. 2-2-1 press coming, and Polche passes out to Coffee to break it. Down low for Drevna, she was looking. Tipped around, and Drevna keeps it back. Great hustle there. Now, with the shot clock winding down, the Bombers can waste some time. Goes to Drevna on the NCAA logo. Shot clock down to 6. Coffee straight away off of the screen. And the block is called on McCulley. Obviously trying to draw the offensive foul. Might not have set her feet fully. Bombers take out underneath. They get a new shot clock set. Down to 5 now, get the new 20. Drevna, right corner. Taking her time as Lindemuth picks it, but it's kept alive by IC. Dixon off of the Coffee screen to the left elbow. Crosses back and forth. Goes on the block, loses possession. It's Gress with the steal. Left to right. Pass to Lindemuth. Has to catch up to it after the strong pass. A left wing 3. Off the back right iron, tipped out by Yorio into the hands of McCulley. Keeps it alive. Another 3 ball from Gress on the right wing off the front left rim. This time Polche corrals the basketball.
Huge sigh of relief there for the Bombers. 2 wide open threes that could have changed this game.
They still lead by 6 with 1:05 to go. Dixon in the left corner. Passes on to Drevna, who fades away for the shot off the back left iron. Jenks left to right for the Yellow Jackets as Lindemuth in transition. Tries to pass out, but the ball is lost. Fallen on by Gomez with the jump ball called. Stays in favor of Rochester. 52.4 seconds left in the game, and now a timeout called where both teams get to talk things over now that we've passed that minute mark remaining.
And both teams need this talk right now. And back to the Bombers' offensive side, man, just a few quick passes where you have to slow down the offense right now. Now 52 seconds, 6-point game where it's been for a little bit now after that initial timeout. But on the offensive side, slow down. You don't need the rush passes down low. And, man, the defense, a few lucky breaks there, Kyle. 2 wide open threes for Gress. We saw what Lindemuth had in that left corner. Those makes could have just changed these final, now 52 seconds of this one.
Especially with Gress coming into the game, the leader for Rochester, over 40% from behind the arc. Also, Lindemuth, no slouch as well when it comes to the 3-ball. Maybe hasn't shown it so far this season, but again, before the injuries have caught up to her, was first-team All-Conference and first-team All-Rochester area back in 2022. Also, second-team All-Region from D3Hoops.com. Setting the scene, though, with the timeouts continuing for both Dan Raymond and Jim Scheibel, the head coaches of the respective Ithaca and University of Rochester teams. It's the Bombers up by 6, 58-52. 52.4 seconds left in the game from Ben Light Gymnasium here. 92 WICB Ithaca and the Bomber Radio Network. Continuing with the Bomber basketball coverage as the season kind of kicks into gear, though. Won't be for a little bit before the next home game, and rather it will take some time because this is the last home game before break. And then we go into the new year when the Bombers go into the Liberty League part of their season. Over the top, McCulley, the pass from Gomez. Swings up top to a straightaway 3-ball off the front left rim from Lindemuth. Fight for a down low. Looked to be kept by Polche, who corralled the basketball. Well, the Rochester players were concerned that the call would have gone to Ithaca, but Dan Raymond was the one who called the timeout.
It was a timeout there for Raymond on Polche holding onto the basketball. The question was for Rochester and Coach Scheibel. He was wondering if Polche even had full possession for the Bombers to call that timeout. Luckily for them, they get that second here, so they'll have possession. And in Division III women's basketball, unlike the men's side, the timeouts advance the basketball here, so the Bombers will now have it at half court inside their offensive territory.
Bombers took off around 11 or so seconds from the clock. They lead by the same score, 58-52, with 43 seconds remaining. Both teams close their huddles and come back out to the court. The Bombers will pass things out with Hannah Polche. The ball advances, so it was Coffey who goes around the midcourt line, gets the ball. And the foul called around the left perimeter. Hannah Lindemuth gets the credit there. Free throws might be in the future. Bombers broke their box set before Polche got the basketball. They reset now with 41.5 seconds remaining. Dixon on the left corner, wide open on the baseline, underneath, foul by Lindemuth. Layup is not up and in. It is rather short as she tried to go kind of for the fancy look underneath the basket and over around.
It looked like Gomez and Gress as well on those screens on that stack formation for the Bombers to get Dixon open, ran into each other. They fell down, and then Dixon was wide open and doing the right thing, not taking the easy layup, dribbling out for the foul. Takes some more time off the clock.
Dixon at the charity stripe. First one is up, and as pure as can be, if they go by 7, 59-52. First time we've seen basketball players really trip over themselves on the same team. Has been for football earlier this fall. This time on the hardwood, not exactly the gridiron. Second free throw makes it an 8-point game as Dixon is perfect from her chances. 60-52 in favor of the Bombers. 38.7 seconds left. Another timeout called, this time by Jim Scheibel.
And a timeout here. We got an 8-point game, 38.7 seconds. Scheibel's drawing up the right plays right now because multiple times out of these timeouts, Rochester, Kyle, has had open chances, wide open for three. And if these shots hit, you're in a different basketball game in the final 30 seconds of this game. However, though, they haven't hit. And that's been the difference right now for the Yellow Jackets, having to rely on fouling and hoping for free throw misses on the Bombers side.
Really on the Bombers side for the scoring, it's been Dixon and Coffey, which has really been that 1-2 punch they've gone for. Dixon with the 2 free throws now takes back the lead for her team. She is 15, Coffey 14. Polche and Yorio each have 9. Watkins with 6. Then Maka and Dubin each have some points. Maka with 4 and Dubin with a 3-ball earlier on in the contest.
And right now, too, a big thing to wonder when Rochester moves out of this timeout, how do the Bombers play on the defensive side? We've seen them kind of with a half-court, one-on-one press, finding who you're guarding really at the half-court line, or really the Bombers here kind of try to control the defensive side and press a little bit more and make it tough on Rochester to steady their offense right around the perimeter.
8 points separate the Bombers and Yellow Jackets. Ithaca leads 60-52, 38.7 seconds left in the game. The Yellow Jackets have possession after the 2 free throw makes by Junie Dixon. It's Drehos, goes up top to Lindemuth, guarded by Dixon, and now it is Junie who fouls. Most looked a little confused after the fact, but it is Junie Dixon with the foul. That one is only her first on the night. Pass out by Gress. Goes to Lindemuth straight away. Tries to drive with the left hand. Guarded by Polche. Contact, but no foul call. Was enough to put the arms down and trickle out of bounds before the basketball favored the Yellow Jackets. Near the 30-second mark remaining. Ithaca still leads by 8. Lindemuth with the pass and the give underneath. Too strong the layup from Drehos and a jump ball after the fact. White possession, and the Bombers, they just so happen to be wearing the white uniforms. They go from right to left. Timeout by Dan Raymond. Maybe to talk something up again, advance that possession, as you mentioned earlier, Cam, that you can do, especially D3 women's basketball.
And 3 blocks now for Polche, and what she's done on the defensive side. We saw back in that first half, diving on the floor, extra possessions, had some huge plays, and that's a big block there. And then the Bombers getting another lucky miss on the defensive side. Drehos wide open for that right-handed layup. And you like the timeout, though, here from Raymond. You can get the ball in on your side of the floor. You expect here Rochester has to foul. 27.2 seconds. Shot clock is now dark in this game. So an 8-point game takes a miracle now for Rochester. But this is something, too, that Coach Raymond's talked to us about. We have to make our free throws down the stretch. That's something that they have struggled with in the past. They've played a lot of close games throughout this season. We saw it in that first game against Cortland. A lot of missed free throws made it a lot closer than it needed to be.
Needed a Cameron Coffey 3-pointer to
super close.
Get that win. That was a super close game. The weekend of Cortica, though it was the basketball teams for Ithaca, at least, that came out on top. Not so much the football side, but with both teams taking the court, we could kindly sweep that underneath. Bombers have Junie Dixon seemingly taking out the basketball. They advance the possession after the Dan Raymond timeout. Lead by 8, 60-52. 27.2 seconds left in the game. Bombers closing in on what would be their first home win of the 2023-24 season. Dixon waiting in the pass to Yorio. Wide open, and rather she will keep the ball as to avoid the foul, though caught up either way by Kat Jenks. She had the layup, but obviously was just trying to get more time off the clock and had Polche for the handoff before Jenks was able to force the foul. Now a pair of free throws for Yorio. First one is up and in. Bombers lead by 9, now 61-52.
And for Yorio too, Kyle, shooting 40% from the stripe this season, so that's a big one to turn around.
2 for 3 and now 2 for 4 as the swirl came out. Now for Grunewood. She goes for a right wing 3 off the front of the rim. Rebound, though, by Gomez. Puts it back up and swishes it home. Lead for the Bombers cut down to 7. Has to be fouled. Yorio does by Callie McCauley. Free throws once more coming into effect, especially with 13.1 seconds left in this game.
Smile on the face of Yorio there, kind of talking to the refs, saying, hey, this foul on McCauley was maybe a little bit too aggressive. Kind of just a strong push in the back of Yorio, and she walks to the line once again.
Yorio now 2 for 4 after splitting her first, or rather, her last 2 free throws. She makes the first one this time to go 3 for 5. Now 13 for 30 on the campaign. 13 for 31 after the back left iron miss. Clock down to 10. Bombers by 8. Driven down there by Grunewood as to go up top for McCulley, who fires off a 3-ball off the front of the rim into the hands of Anya Watkins. Keeps the ball alive, dribbles it down, and zeros on the board. Ithaca gets their first home win of the season in their final home game of the calendar year 2023. Final score, Ithaca 62, Rochester 54. The Bombers pull away with the win, their first win in a few years against this Rochester team. First win against Rochester in Ithaca since 2018.
And a big win here, too, and all the losses as well. We talked about it pregame, Kyle. That one loss that stands out in 2021 on December 7th, the Bombers ended up winning 20 straight. So this game against Rochester is always a turning point with a win or a loss for the Bombers on what they do as time goes on. But a big win today here for Ithaca, crucial on